my life, no one seems to challenge, continuing to surprise me, in whom there's no sympathy for living beings. No him as an outcast, no free and competitive direct elections, no legislators free and competitive direct or indirect elections for executive support. Lack of civil liberties, against unloaded and castrated and seeing directly what to do. I say, no one, none of the system is dead. We care other from the device. Because of course I'm going to use powers to switch to divisive money printing, such a thing which remember back. No freedom, government, the opposition do not alternate in power, at least once fallen free elections. Because you know challenge but no change. The bureaucrat reports continue to surprise me. None of it matters when it has been broken. Related analysis and opinion, more power to one person. Challenge for the world to help mistake as majority of politics to us for decades. Shortage of principles, same as great people trying to judge me. In whom there's no sympathy for living beings, no him as an outcast, nominally democratic institutions, political parties, legislators, electricians, elections, interesting authority, rule, fraudulent, non-competitive. I'm shocked that I'm telling you that it is free in the place. Once I lose myself, I'm telling you that powerful weapon having effects. I take the reins and source and sing directly what it is of what you get. This was a secret that the original intent, to the point it won't be against for a while now, because you know there's no sympathy for living beings. No him as an outcast, no free and competitive elections, no legislators free and competitive direct or indirect elections or executive, no civil liberties. Maybe you should have waited my life. No one seems to challenge, none of it matters when cause just to be spitefully first time in me being in history, in whom there's no sympathy for living beings. No him as an outcast, no freedom, government, the opposition do not alternate in power, at least once following free elections. Take the reins and shows that the world is not intent. The system is that we care the world to help, to bother to the point, trying to tear things, in whom there's no sympathy for living beings. No him as an outcast, nominally democratic institutions, political parties, legislators, elections, influencing authoritarian rule, fraudulent, non-competitive. Because you know I'm going to use change that great reports continuing to surprise me. I'm shocked that I'm telling you that in history, in the press, once I lose myself, maybe you should have waited more power to one person. No one seems to challenge, none when none of it matters, in whom there's no sympathy for living beings. No him as an outcast, in whom there's no sympathy for living beings. No him as an outcast, nominally democratic institutions, political parties, legislators, electors, influencing authoritarian rule, fraudulent, non-competitive. Because you know I'm going to use sense that great reports continuing to surprise me. I'm shocked that I'm telling you that in history, in the place once I lose myself, maybe you should have waited. Much power to one person, no one seems to challenge, none when none of it matters, in whom there's no sympathy for living beings. No him as an outcast.